Welcome back, race fans, to another week of Sim Racing Nation Historic Trans Am Series. This week we are at Lime Rock and getting ready to go. Lime Rock this week is... How long was it again? Are you muted? Strife.
It is
There we go.
43 laps, and each lap is about 1.55 miles long. So you're looking at lap times of under 1 minute.
Yeah, from what we saw in the qualifying, we were looking at low 54s. So, I think we're finally getting into the grid here. I know things have been a little rough getting things set up this week. Hopefully everything is now A-OK to go as the lobby's being set up. Last week we were at Road Atlanta, had some really terrific racing. This week is going to be interesting as it's a very short track, as Strife indicated, and very few turns. And we are off with Wagonator on pole. I'm just going to actually get rid... Oop. Wrong one. Haha, map. Going to get rid of the map as we go around for the first lap of this race. Wagonator out front, followed by Diablo and CRXR8 in third as they come around, heading for that little, is it turn 5, I believe. There's a little group of, into turn 4, onto the no-name straight, down towards turn 4. No, sorry, into turn 6. It's been a while since I've been on Lime Rock, so you're going to have to forgive me here. And down into turn 7, called the downhill, and cross start finish line to complete that first lap. As Strife indicated, 43 laps. You won't see a whole lot of stretching out here. There's going to be a lot of action, again, because of the short lap. We're probably going to look at about 55-second laps, 55, 56 seconds per lap on this, so it should be over relatively quick. Shall we go back in the pack a little bit? Back to, do you see anything back there that we should be looking at?
We've had some contact already. Big Ben, I don't know if there was initial push or a missed braking point, but Big Ben is down to 21st now. Turn 1 incident on lap 2, the start of lap 3. But as for, this track is so small, there's going to be contact everywhere.
Absolutely.
You pick a spot, and I will follow you.
We're actually going to stay out front here. Diablo's really putting some pressure on Wagonator at the moment. Of course, Diablo's running a lot of ballast because of his last 2 wins here, or in the past 2 weeks. A little squirrely coming out of turn 5. Right.
Wildman, Sedlum, and I believe LM Hybrid are kind of getting into some contact just after the downhill portion here. They are as far back as 17th to 21st.
All right, back to
I'm just kind of bouncing around the field here, and
Wildman's a little bit out on his own, but they are going 3 wide behind him into turn 1. And Sedlum looks like he's had some heavy contact as well. The side of his, that Javelin's pretty scraped up, along with LMR Hybrid. And Face Palmer's getting in the action there as well. I'm not sure if I've seen any damage on Face Palmer, but I'm quite sure they've they've all touched. Oh, and we had somebody into the wall. I didn't catch who that was. Straight into the tire barrier at turn 5. Did you happen to catch who that was, Strife?
That is Schleprock,
Oh,
73 Firebird.
that is too bad for Schleprock. All right, I need to pull up the map here so I can get a better idea of what battles we have going on here.
I am up to 9th place with Medieval, Optimizer, Springer. They're just pushing each other through the S's here. 4Cam's getting in on the dirty action too.
Fair enough. So I'm going to rely on you to give me the action here, so I don't have to have that giant map up in the way. As DR Yogurt got quite squirrely coming into turn 5. And
Ooh, Springer's in the grass.
Springer and Optimizer both into the grass. Springer getting the worst of that, or he was completely sideways at one point. Drifting competition through the grass there. Now Optimizer all over his back end. It looks like Optimizer's going for it. Late braking possibly. No, he has decided better and let Springer have that position. It would have been dicey trying to get in through turn 1 too wide. Yogurt catching the grass up ahead of them, and thought there was somebody else off there. Let's. Looks like there's a good battle for second currently. That is Sierra and Trashman side by side going into turn 1 as they are currently on lap 7. Sierra holding on to that position. The underpowered Mustang would really be in its own here because it handles quite well, does it not? It's just underpowered.
It can be a little squirrely because of its short wheelbase compared to the rest of the cars, and it's a little bit top heavy for some reason. I blame turn 10 for that. Optimizers getting a little bit pushed out there. There's still some contact between Hop and Springer.
They put the lead in the roof for the ballast for some reason. No reason why. Somebody needs to explain to them.
But otherwise, back to the 65 Mustang. Yeah, out of all the cars in the series, it is the lightest one. It is the smallest one. It is the least powerful of all of them.
Right.
And that makes for a very interesting combination because the tire sizes you can put on the car are either skinny tires or really wide tires. There's not really much of it in between.
Currently with Master Big Chief, he's all over the back of Flight. Flight grabs a little bit of grass and got a little sideways, giving Master Big Chief the opening he was looking for and makes the pass through into turn 5. Great pass by Master Big Chief there, taking advantage of a mistake by Flight. We'll actually go back to 6 because now there is a battle for 5th and 6th with Juice and Flight. Juice in that Nova. Wagonator must have had it off because he was in first at one point, unless he decided he was taking a very early pit, but I can't see that, so I'm guessing an off of some sort. Let's go back further in the field then. There's a big gap between 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, so we'll go back to like 11th, 12th here, as there seems to be a good group there. As we are with Yogurt, Optimizer in front of him, and Medieval Knight right. Nope, Hocus, sorry, and then Medieval Knight. No, Medieval Knight. Where did I see? Oh, he's out in front of that group. My apologies. Well, the name badges jump up all over the place here, and it's really hard to keep track of what car they're actually pointing at sometimes, like especially when they're in tight and up close. I'm actually going to go up one car to Optimizer because he is all over the back of Medieval Knight here. And I'll even go to the game camera for now. Let me know if you see something further, elsewhere in the pack that needs to be looked at.
I did just watch Master Big Chief. He lost a position out of the S's going into the grass. One thing I can say from experience driving these cars on this track is that if you don't nail the S's, they just eat up all the grass. And there's not a whole lot you can do about it once you get it out there. You cannot get the car back in.
That is the most technical part of this track, that possibly going into turn 5. So if you don't nail 1 through 5, you know, oh, and we have contact between Medieval Knight and Optimizer. Medieval Knight's able to hold on to that position though, but Optimizer just all over that back bumper. Up in 4th and 5th, we have a battle for 4th and 5th that I'm going to go to. This is between Flight and Master Big Chief, as you'd mentioned. And oh yes, going through turn 2 and turn 3 now. And Master Big Chief drifting out of the exit of turn 3. Caught a little bit of grass and lost time, unfortunately, to Flight. Well, we have I mean, there's never really a good point to do this, but I'm going to run down the current point standings going into this race. Take into account that the drop week has been applied to this, so racers are given a drop week, 1 or 2 drop weeks. I think it's 1. Not 100% sure on that.
One drop week.
Yeah. Given 1 drop week, so that week does not count for them. So keep in mind that looking at these standings, they will most certainly be changing after this week. Very tight battle here as we bring that up. Still out in front is Diablo with 48 points, Moose tied with Medieval Knight for 2nd. Then there's another tie for Master Big Chief and Big Ben for 4th, or 5th, my apologies. There is your top 32. As XSplit decided it doesn't want to work right now. Haha. There we go. Nope. It's decided it's going back to the point standings. And it's, oh, something's going on here. There we go, finally. Technical difficulties. Master Big Chief all over the back of Flight still, and Wagonator is actually catching up to that group. Going to go back to 12th as there seems to be a gathering back there. Again with Hybrid, Optimizer, and Medieval Knight all battling for position as they head down to turn 7 to complete lap 14 possibly for them, because we're on lap 15. And they are going 3 wide across the start-finish line as Optimizer looks like he has the inside line going into turn 1. Hybrid's trying to make it work on the outside. Medieval Knight's trying to hang on to one of those positions, but loses 2 positions in one corner there. A little bit of bumping between Hybrid and Optimizer as they head down towards turn 5. And we have a car off by the looks of it. Back. Oh, we have 2 cars going very slow. Yogurt and Severius. There must have been contact there. Severius looks like he has major damage. Car is just limping along. You can hear the motor coughing and spluttering. That is very unfortunate. And unfortunately, we missed what happened. I think his night's probably pretty over at this point.
Well, there is some good news to this, is that we already have drivers pitting. So if he uses this to his advantage as being his mandatory pit stop, he'll possibly lose a few positions overall, but compared to the grand scheme of things, it shouldn't be too detrimental.
He is back in last at this point, though, so... And there's always the possibility of somebody crashing out, too, as we have Optimizer and Medieval Knight banging doors coming into turn 5. And again, going into turn 6, Medieval Knight is sideways as Optimizer tags him in the back order. Optimizer, I think, got the worst of that as he had to back off and is now gapped about a second or 2 behind Medieval Knight. Springa coming up quickly now on Optimizer as they go through turn 1, turn 2. And Optimizer is gaining again on Medieval Knight. He just cannot. He was past Medieval Knight at one point there. Not sure how Medieval Knight got past him. But obviously something happened. Optimizer off onto the grass again. I'm going to go up to 4th as we're still having that battle up there between Flight and Wagonator. And Master Big Chief has actually now lost a place to Wagonator for that battle for 4th. Because I feel bad, we'll give some loving to Diablo, who is currently out front all by himself. He's got about 3/4 of the straight gap on 2nd. And he is closing. Sorry?
Has a relatively clean car compared to the rest of the field, too.
Absolutely.
Been staying out of trouble up there.
That will definitely help his lap times as well, as he is closing in on Face Palmer, who is currently running last on track in 20th. Let's find something else. There is a big pack back in 11th that we'll pop back to. Again, we were with Medieval Knight, Optimizer, and you guessed it, Springa, with Severius in 22nd out in front of them. So my information was wrong. Face Palmer's not last. Severius is, and in between them is Yogurt, who I believe had contact with Severius as well. Almost halfway through this race, so I think now would be a good time as any to go through the running order. Out first we have Diablo. Second is Trashman. Third, Sierra. Wagonator in 4th. RR Flight 602 in 5th. Master Big Chief in 6th. DUR Juiced in 7th. 8th is currently running Yan San San. 9th, currently 4 Cam T-Bird. Elmar Hybrid in 10th. Medieval Knight 11th. Optimizer 12th. Springa 13th. Big Ben 14th. Wildman CB 15th. Schleprock in 16th, Sedlum 17th, Monkey Wrench 1 in 18th, DUR Hocus in 19th, Face Bomber 20th, Yogurt in 21st, and Severius 22nd. And there is a battle. Oh, sorry, that's a lapped car. My apologies. Yan San San and 4Cam. For some reason it was showing them, one of them as, oh. Yeah, for some reason it was showing one of them as being lapped for me for a second there. I don't know what was up with that, but whatever. As they enter turn 1 yet again. Go back to 8th. Yes, they were passing somebody. They passed Yogurt. So we have Diablo has now done his pit stop and is back in 8th and trying to put a lap on DUR Yogurt here. We'll stick with this for right now. See if Yogurt lets Diablo by here as he pulls over. Yes, very sporting. So ultimately, that was our leader that just went past there. So Hybrid has not pit yet. Go back to that battle for 8th again, as it's not much of a battle there. Medieval Knight's now by himself. So we must be in middle of the pit strategies. Or the pit window, I guess. Go back to 9th. That's a battle between Sierra and Big Ben, but it's not really a battle because Sierra has just made his pit stop. Again, it's going to take a few laps for all this to kind of play out, resort itself back out. Big Ben is pushing hard on Sierra's bumper there, going into turn 1. Heavy damage on. Oh, and Sierra gets tagged by Severius, losing position there, but not. Or sorry, that's Face Palmer there, but not into the wall. He's able to get it under control, back out, off of the grass, and back onto the black tarmac-y stuff. Be interesting to see how that plays out once the pit stops are all finished. As it looks like Sierra's going to take another run here. Or, no, sorry, I'm with Big Ben nuts. Severius gets out of the way. This is where the incident happened 1 lap ago. As, yes, Severius goes wide, lets Sierra go past. He knows that's not his battle. And now Big Ben and Sierra are gaining on Wagonator. Oh, good run out of that corner by Big Ben. Think he's going to run at a track here, or no, he's putting it up the inside. He's going to try and hold that position. Oh, and unfortunately tags Wagonator slightly, getting past and letting Sierra pass as well. Big Ben gets a little bit of wiggle coming out of turn 7, and now it is a drag race to the start and finish line, and Wagonator gets past Sierra, but Big Ben is still in that, able to hold on to the 8th spot. As they make their way through turn 2, 3, and into 4 again. Down the no-name straight. I think after all these years, they'd be able to come up with some sort of name for it. Haha, I'm joking. Bad joke, sorry. Looks like Big Ben is going in for his pit stop. So we will pop away from him and find something else to look at. Just go right back to... Sorry, go ahead.
Diablo in 6th place is working on passing Hybrid, who's currently in 5th place.
Up to 5th. With... and again, this really isn't a race for position, as I'm pretty sure Hybrid has not done his pit stop yet. But we will stick with this for now, as it is actually looking pretty spread out on the track right now. Back to 7th quickly, as it looks like it's bunching up there with Wagonator and Flight. I'm going to pop back to 3rd. I think that might be lap. Oh! And geez, Hybrid, heavy into the wall. Guessing we should have stayed with that, as there was obviously some sort of contact. I'm not sure if it was contact or if Hybrid just got loose and into the wall himself, but that was heavy into the wall, heavy damage for Hybrid coming at a turn 6 towards the downhill. And he is limping into the pits. So let's go up to see if we can find Diablo's car here.
Diablo's up into 2nd right now.
All right, let's take a look at his car and see if there's any sort of damage on his car, or was it contact, or just a Hybrid getting out of shape himself. I think I see a wonky bumper on the front. I can't confirm that quite yet. Maybe not. Not seeing any damage. That may have just been Hybrid getting out of control himself, or if it was light contact, that maybe sent him into the wall. Only speculating at this point. And before I forget, the drink for tonight is I'm onto the Kraken Dark Rum. So into the hard stuff tonight. It's been one of those weekends. I'm not going to get into the details why. Nobody needs to hear that boring, crying, bullshit stuff. No crying, but you know. Looks like there's a battle going on for 11th, 12th, 10th, in around there, so we'll pop back to that. Medieval Night, Spring contacts Medieval Knight, pushes them sideways, and they are into each other, and Medieval Knight's into the wall. A lot of contact there. I don't know.
That was some repetitive hitting, I would say, from Springer. It looked like it started back on the main straight after the start-finish line. going into the braking zone of turn one and then was just back and forth. I don't know if it was on purpose, malicious or not. It's hard to say. I do
Or
know that there is some heat during this particular track sometimes, though.
yeah, and I know there's glitch issues with Forza where cars will get in contact and stay in contact and stuff like that. So not sure. Obviously can't point any fingers any which way because we don't have the full story there because we had just switched over to it. But that was heavy contact. And I've raced with Springa before and Medieval Knight. And I don't know if either of them would be malicious like that. And I'm not going to call them out. We have a car stopped on track back in 17th. Wild Man, he's up and running again.
Hocus. DOR Hocus.
Was it Hocus?
Unless we're looking at two different cars.
It was back in coming into turn 4. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Whichever car it was, they are now moving. But it could be Hocus, as you mentioned. Going up to 5th. I actually got to say, I'm a little surprised that the cars are spread out as they are. I was expecting it to be a little tighter than this. It certainly has been entertaining racing, though. We're gonna stay with this grouping here for a little bit. I'm gonna get you to take over for just 1 minute, and I will be right back.
Sure. Oh, man. Yeah, once that grass gets you, Hocus into the grass. Waiting for his turn to get back on the track.
All right, sorry, I am back. Did I miss anything good?
The grass in the S's took another victim.
Oh,
Hocus in 17th got out wide into turn one, into turn two, and spun out.
oh,
Dropped back. He waited for the field to pass by and he jumped back out into 21st.
that is
Aside
unfortunate
from
for
that,
Hocus.
yeah, that's gotta suck.
Currently with 4-cam T-Bird, he's got Severius behind him, but that is not for position. So we'll find something else to look at. Back up to 5th. I mean, that's where the action is right now. We've got a grouping of Flight, Sierra, and Monkey Wrench, that is not for position either, as he is currently in 18th, but behind him is Master Big Chief. Yes. It's hard to see. So yes, we'll stay with that for a little bit. I'm going to turn that giant map off, and oh, a little bit of lag there. Sierra's car just wiggles all over the place. Obvious lag spike. Or who knows, it is turn 10, so it could be some sort of funky physics.
Oh, hey, we got another car stopped. I'm gonna go check that out.
Was there another
Trying to
turn
figure out
2?
who it is.
We're getting some big lag spikes from Sierra here. As his car just bouncing all over the place. But he is still on the back of flight here, and it's about the closest battle we have. 4-cam T-Bird currently, well, that's again Monkey Wrench, but this is not a battle for position. We haven't seen Yan San San yet this race, so we'll just pop over to Yan San San. He is currently close to no one, riding and racing and playing with himself. Ooh, that came out wrong, didn't it? Shoot. I'll edit that out. Oh yeah, it's live. Sorry, Ann. Battle for 12th, or is that again a car being lapped? Yeah.
It is a combination: 11th, 12th, 13th, and 12th, all grouped up.
Yes, we are back with Medieval Knight again, and Big Ben. Medieval Knight seems to be having all the action, and tonight he's certainly getting his fair share of viewing time. The spotlight. His sponsors will appreciate it. And I just realized, yeah. Anyway, as they head down through turn 7 yet again to complete lap 39, or that'd be 38, yes. 4 more laps here to go. So I think maybe at this point what I'll do while we watch this battle is, I mean, it's on the ticker above, but we'll go through the current order. Diablo currently in first, followed by Trashman. Wagoner's made his way back up to third. Our flight is in fourth. Sierra fifth. Master Big Chief 6th, 4-cam T-Bird 7th, Yan San San 8th, Juiced is 9th, Optimizer currently running 10th, Springa 11th, 12th, Big Ben, Medieval Knight 13th, Schlepprock 14th, Wildman CB 15th, Sedlum all by himself back in 16th, or no, sorry, he's got Yogurt right behind him in 17th, Monkey Wrench in 18th, Severius 19th, Face Bomber 20th, Hocus back in 21st, and we've had somebody drop out, as there are only 21 cars currently on the track. Going back to 17th, as there seems to be a battle there. No, that is Yogurt being passed by Trashman, who's currently running second. Yogurt into the grass, needs to be just a little careful there. Doesn't need to be ruining somebody's race who has just passed him. I know he's racing for that position for 16th with Sedlum, but need to be patient because Sedlum's going to hold him up just slightly, and there'll be an opportunity, if he plays it right, to follow Trashman through when he passes Sedlum. And we'll go up to Sedlum and see how this pass goes. And there goes Trashman on the outside, down into turn 1. Big Bend, as it's also known. Not to be confused with Big Ben, who is currently racing out there. Yogurt sticking his nose up inside of Sedlum and is on the outside. Sedlum's going to have the corner coming out of turn 4, and they are both
Oh,
heavy into the wall. Actually, I think Yogurt managed to stay off the wall there, but Sedlum definitely took the brunt of that wall and has now lost that position. Looks like his car is going to be damaged there. Obviously, there's going to be damage there. Not sure how performance will be at this point. Going up to 13th, as there's currently a battle there with Schlepprock, Big Ben, and Springa for the 12th position. And we are actually on the final lap, I just realized. So let's go, oops, all the way to Diablo, who is currently out first, coming down the hill into turn 7, heading towards that start-finish line. And he grabs yet another victory. That's 3 wins in a row for Diablo. Good for him. Back in second is Trash Man, I believe. Yes, Trash Man second. Yep. We got Wagonator third, Flight fourth, Sierra coming across in fifth with Master Big Chief right behind him in sixth, seventh 4KM T-Bird, eighth Yan San, Diwar Juiced coming up in ninth and about to cross the line. 10th is Optimizer, and we will switch to Optimizer as he comes across, heading down the straight for the start-finish line. Finishes 10th, 11th, Medieval Knight, Springa 12th, and Big Ben 13th as they cross the start-finish line with a bang to the bumper from Big Ben into the back of Springa. 14th, Schleprock, 15th, Wildman's about to cross, and way back in the 16th is Yogurt coming down the hill. Sedlum not too far behind him. So we're going to have Yogurt finishing 16th, Sedlum 17th, 18th will be Severius, as he is actually gaining on Sedlum, but does not have enough time. 19th, Monkey Wrenched. 20th, Face Palmer is way behind, unfortunately, in 20th. 21st is Hocus, and yeah, I can't. Did you happen to catch who dropped out? I personally did not. I know I should know this, as there were Hybrid.
I think Hybrid is still here. I do believe it was one of our new drivers. We had a new driver join us this evening.
Okay.
I know I did this once before, and I'm trying to find it again. My apologies.
I don't see Hybrid on track, to be honest. I'm thinking it was Hybrid that dropped out, because I know he had some big crashes. We'll go with that.
That is correct. Hybrid is missing, as well as the newest of the drivers that joined us this evening. So that would be the 2 people missing.
There you have it, folks. Lime Rock Park in the books. Next week we are going to... Any idea? I can't remember. We're going to...
It is Mazda Laguna Seca.
Oh, baby. That corkscrew is going to be the scene of some shit. Excuse the language. So yeah, next week, as we said, Laguna Seca. We will see you then. Thank you again, Strife, for sitting and listening to me and helping me out there.
Yeah, we had plenty going on tonight.
Absolutely. So that's the broadcast brew. Thank you to Yan San to putting all this together yet again. Bang up job. Always fun to watch these cars battle it out on track. And so we'll see you next week on the 29th at Laguna Seca. Have a great night.